Some games just have that immersive power, pulling you in until you emerge, feeling either on top of the world or completely shattered. Today, we've put together some of the best single-player games that will grab your attention and keep you glued to the screen until the credits roll. We've got a mix of older classics, modern favorites, and everything in between. So without further ado, let's get started. Let's kick things off with the iconic Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. This game has become legendary for its staggering depth and freedom. Set in the icy northern province of Skyrim during a tumultuous civil war, you play as the Dragonborn, a hero destined to save the world from the dragon god Alduin. Skyrim's world is absolutely massive and packed with things to do. There are countless towns, dungeons, caves, so many characters to meet and quests to undertake. The main story is solid, but the real magic lies in the side content. You can join a thieves guild, become an assassin, train as a mage, become a werewolf or vampire, buy homes, and much more. The amount of lore delivered through books, dialogue, and environmental storytelling is incredible. Gameplay is flexible, allowing you to create any character you want, whether you prefer magic, sword fighting, stealth, or a combination of all three. You can even dabble in professions like smithing or alchemy. Skyrim's world feels alive with its wildlife, dynamic weather, and people whose opinions of you change based on your choices. The game's influence is undeniable, remaining massively popular over the years thanks to re-releases, mods, and the sheer variety of things to do. While some aspects are dated, like the dialogue system or the quest log, it's still an unforgettable single-player experience. Next up, Divinity Original Sin 2 is one of the most ambitious RPGs ever made. Set in the detailed fantasy world of Rivellon, the game drops you into a conflict where users of source magic are being persecuted after unleashing horrors known as Voidwoken. Beginning as a prisoner on a remote island, you quickly gain your freedom and are swept into a quest to become the next divine, the ultimate champion of Rivellon. What makes Original Sin 2 so special is the staggering level of interactivity. It's an isometric RPG with turn-based combat, but the world responds logically to player actions in ways most games don't. You can combine elemental surface effects like turning spilled oil into a fire or turning a rainstorm into an electrified field. You can pickpocket quest characters, sneak around as a barrel, blow up key NPCs, or solve missions with brute force. There are very few artificial barriers. The writing is excellent with tons of humor, dark choices, and well-developed party members. Many quests force you to make uncomfortable or creative decisions, and some of your allies are competitors in the endgame. The game is massive, offering over 100 hours of content, but it never feels bloated. Everything in Rivellon is carefully crafted, from the creative dungeons to the city's political subplots. Original Sin 2 can be played solo, but it's even better with friends in co-op. Each player can control their own character, and the game doesn't force you to stick together, leading to all kinds of chaos. With its incredible tactical combat, sweeping story, and unmatched player freedom, Original Sin 2 is a single-player RPG masterpiece. Coming in next, I think we can't talk about modern single-player experiences without mentioning Cyberpunk 2077. After its rocky 2020 launch, developer CD Projekt Red worked overtime to address bugs, improve systems, and deliver on the game's massive promise. Now, in its current state, it's one of the most impressive single-player games ever. You take on the role of V, a mercenary in the futuristic Night City. Caught in a deadly situation after a heist gone wrong, you're implanted with a prototype chip containing the digital ghost of a rebellious mercenary named Johnny Silverhand, played by Keanu Reeves. This looming timeline adds urgency to your quest. Night City is unbelievably detailed. Its towering skyscrapers, grimy alleyways, and eccentric inhabitants give it a sense of place unmatched by most open-world games. The sheer density of people on the street and the verticality as you explore apartment buildings and hacking opportunities is astounding. And Cyberpunk 2077 lets you approach missions however you want. You can go in guns blazing, sneak and hack your way past defenses, charm your way through locked doors, or use cybernetics to turn yourself into a futuristic assassin. The weapons are cool, the hacking is complex, and the storylines are often surprisingly emotional, dealing with heady concepts like the nature of the mind, digital afterlife, and replacing our bodies. Choices also matter in this game. Even simple responses can change the fates of important characters and open or close entire quest lines. The Reboot Path, also widely known as 2.0 Update, and the Phantom Liberty DLC expanded everything, giving us even more to explore. Cyberpunk 2077 struggled at launch, but it's now a must-play game that will keep you immersed until the end. Now, if you love open-world games but want something less traditional and a bit more thrilling, Dying Light 2 Stay Human is a single-player game worth checking out. This zombie survival game by Techland combines explosive combat, satisfying looting, and the best first-person traversal mechanics ever. You play as Aiden, a survivor looking for his lost sister in the ruined city of Villador. However, you're quickly caught between rival factions battling for control of the last remaining strongholds. Dying Light 2's city is a joy to explore. Zombies are everywhere, clogging the streets, and more terrifying ones come out at night. That makes it crucial to learn to move above the chaos by climbing, wall running, and free running across the roofs. Crucially, this movement feels good. It's incredibly satisfying, and you'll find yourself exploring optional dungeons, finding gear, crafting weapons, and completing quests just to enjoy the traversal. The melee combat is also gripping, with a great sense of impact as you bash zombies with improvised axes, pipes, and electric batons. Guns are rare, making each encounter intense as you manage your stamina and look for opportunities to escape. At night, the game becomes even scarier with tougher zombies and some environments that are only accessible after dark. And while the story isn't that particularly memorable, the post-apocalyptic city is packed with fun things to do. You'll choose which factions to support, each unlocking helpful support nodes like zip lines, roofs access, and traps that make traversal easier. Dying Light 2 continually evolves, adding new content and improving gameplay. Its expansion pack, Bloody Ties, is excellent, giving you a new arena location with its own storyline and challenges. If you want an open-world single-player game with unique systems and a thrilling spin, Dying Light 2, Stay Human is the one to try. Coming in next, we have Fallout 4. Released in 2015, this game took the Fallout series in a slightly different direction, one that some fans debate to this day. While Fallout 4 can seem like a silly game where you fight giant killer crabs in the post-nuclear wasteland of Massachusetts, it has an unmistakable charm. It expands the intense single-player survival we crave while adding tons of new ideas. One feature that really surprised everyone was the settlement building. While originally created as a distraction, it grew into something players loved. Now you can build entire towns and defend them from roving raiders or rampaging super mutants. You can trade, decorate, build a home, and grow communities in the wasteland, something no other Fallout game let you experience. And this feature has influenced many other games, which just shows its staying power. The main plot is also solid. You emerge from cryogenic stasis to search for your missing child in a world ravaged by nuclear war. You'll combat the enigmatic Institute and their androids, stalked by the Brotherhood of Steel, and ally with companions in an extremely dense version of the Boston area. There is so much to explore in this game, from the depths of Fenway Park to the top of the ruined city and deep into the fictional submarine. The expansion packs are just as creative, giving us a trip to a nuclear-themed Disneyland and a thrilling case to solve in a far-off fishing town. The graphics and combat have admittedly been surpassed by now, but Fallout 4 still captures that unique Fallout single-player magic. This is a game that will strap you in until the very end. Another great adventure that you should definitely try is Kingdom Come: Deliverance. This 2018 medieval RPG is unlike anything else on this list. The time is 15th century Bohemia, and you play as Henry, a blacksmith's son caught in a brutal civil war. What sets Kingdom Come apart is its obsessive commitment to authenticity. This is a game without dragons, magic, or legendary swords. You are a regular person, and even the smallest task, like sharpening a blade or keeping your clothes clean, matters. The game simulates life so deeply that you can increase your standing in society by simply not smelling like a pig. Kingdom Come's single-player focus comes from the story, a revenge narrative to make your way in a world beset by angry knights, raiding armies, and tyrannical rulers. You'll engage in small-scale skirmishes, defend villages, and meet a host of historical figures. The game is built around choice, allowing you to talk your way out of situations, sneak quietly, or learn to become a skilled knight. The combat is technical, based on real medieval swordplay, and enemies are just as vulnerable as you. And there's no real progression in the traditional sense. You won't become superhuman. Henry is defined by what you're good at and what you choose to become. The countryside is vibrant and alive without the genre's usual mythical monsters. Instead, you'll worry about mundane things like getting lost in the woods or being caught by highwaymen. Kingdom Come: Deliverance is one of the weirdest RPGs ever made, but also one of the most absorbing once you embrace its slower pace and less fantastical world. And to be honest, there's no single-player game quite like it. Coming in next, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is another RPG beast that you should try. So this massive RPG, now also available on PC, takes the story of the iconic 1997 Final Fantasy VII and twists it in unexpected directions. You play as ex-soldier Cloud Strife and a growing cast of memorable allies, trying to stop the superhuman Sephiroth, the Shinra Corporation, and a host of new threats to the planet. What makes Final Fantasy VII Rebirth so engaging is how it isn't afraid to remix the original story. It introduces new side characters, expands certain storylines, and even suggests wild new plot threads that will blow the minds of fans of the original. Beyond the story, this game is also a technical marvel, one of the best-looking games of all time. The massive overworld zones are full of JRPG charms and things to do, blending the epic with the quirky in a way only Final Fantasy can. The minigames are infused with the fastidiously detailed magic of modern Square Enix, knowing that fans love this kind of weirdness. But it's the core gameplay loop that really grabs you. It's not just about flashy battles, although it has plenty of those. The game encourages deep experimentation and preparation. You'll be customizing characters, equipping new abilities, collecting summon creatures, and finding new party members to counter different situations. While some players were frustrated by the ending, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is undoubtedly one of the strongest JRPGs out there because it's jam-packed with things to do, characters to care about, and really it's just a fun game. Next on the list, if you've ever played a Persona game, you know how immersive and single-player focused they are, and Persona 5 Royal is another testament to that. On its own, Persona 5 is one of the best JRPGs ever made, but the Royal Edition adds a whole section of the story and more characters that deepen the experience even further. The story centers around high school student Joker and the quest to fight the corruption poisoning your city. You do this by investigating cases, building relationships to gain power, and entering otherworldly dungeons based on the mental state of the criminals. Imagination is key to everything here. Every aspect of Persona 5 is brilliantly designed, from the completely bespoke dungeons filled with small puzzle segments to the creative creature designs and kissing soundtrack. And combine that with the pop art sensibility, this is a JRPG that goes completely off the rails. The turn-based combat sticks to the basics but efficiently leverages your party's skills and exploits enemy weaknesses to overcome obstacles. There's an element of Pokemon too, with the collection of personas and fusing them to create even more powerful ones. The real draw of Persona 5, however, is the relationship simulation. Choosing how you spend your days builds those bonds that help you progress in dungeons. You'll meet a cast of unforgettable characters, including some of the most underrated in video games. Of course, the Japanese setting is also fascinating, dealing with themes that games usually avoid. If you're willing to commit to a 100-hour RPG, Persona 5 is one of the most entertaining out there. Next up, you can't go wrong with Assassin's Creed Valhalla for a game that just won't let go. This epic entry drops you into the Norse world of Viking raider Eivor, who travels to England during the Dark Ages to carve out a new future for their clan. What makes Valhalla so compelling is how it blends the classic Assassin's Creed sneaking and assassinations with full-blown open-world exploration and role-playing. As Eivor, you'll be making alliances with different people and groups to destabilize this turbulent period in this massive world of medieval England. And speaking of the world, it's packed with hidden secrets, side quests, and Norse mythology woven into the fabric of everyday life. While the main story is about securing a home for your clan, you'll encounter the Proto-Templars, shadowy groups, and even uncover ancient secrets and alien relics that both ground and elevate the game's narrative. You can also build your own settlement, manage resources, lead raids, and even decide how certain characters live or die. Your choices have real stakes that branch the story and the fate of different lands you visit. The combat is meatier, giving you access to axes, shields, bows, and some very brutal assassinations. Like other Assassin's Creed games, Valhalla is historically detailed with gorgeous environments and authentic period towns, but it's the sheer volume of stuff to do. Side stories, legendary weapons to find, mythological bosses to fight, and factions to influence that keeps you perpetually busy. Valhalla is the perfect single-player time sink. The ending may be pretty wild in true Assassin's Creed fashion, but getting there is an unforgettable journey. Another masterclass in pure RPG immersion has to be Baldur's Gate 3. Set in the Sword Coast, a rich fantasy world of Dungeons and Dragons, this game starts with a bang. You're captured by terrifying mind flayers who infect you with a parasite that threatens to turn you and your allies into one of them. Then you're dumped in the wilderness to figure out how to survive. Where Original Sin 2 is zany and freeform, Baldur's Gate 3 is dense and deliberate. This game is a true D&D simulator built to offer as much player agency and decision-making as possible. Your race, class, and background all have unique dialogue options. You can even play as a dreaded dark elf in the Underdark and be treated like a VIP. And like The amount of reactive writing is just staggering, and it extends to your allies because, well, every companions are also richly developed and have their own secrets and potential betrayals. That being said, the storyline weaves through the parasite inside you, but you'll get pulled into so much more. Balancing factions, uncovering the return of the dead three, an ancient trio of evil gods, struggling to resist your own transformation or giving into it for new powers. Every choice in Baldur's Gate 3 feels like it could open up a new section of the game or slam doors closed forever. It captures the essence of tabletop D&D while offering a truly meaty single-player story. Whether you're battling enemies in extremely tactical turn-based combat, flexing your charisma in negotiations, or breaking the odds by throwing a cheese wheel, Baldur's Gate 3 gives you the tools to shape your own adventure like few games do. And there you have it, our picks for some of the best RPGs that will keep you glued to your screen until the very end. Each of these games offers a unique experience, whether you're looking for deep storytelling, massive worlds to explore, or just pure, unadulterated fun. If you think we missed any must-play RPG games, let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more gaming recommendations. And as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.